Hello all, welcome back to Project Mastery Podcast. We'll be covering MoSCoW approach in today's episode. Imagine you're building a mobile banking application. The deadline is tight, the budget is fixed, stakeholder wants everything under the sun, from core transactions to fancy chatbots. And you as a project manager, how do you decide what gets delivered now? What waits until later? What is not even on the table? This is where MoSCoW approach comes into picture. It's a very powerful prioritization technique that every project manager must master. MoSCoW is not about the city in Russia. In project management, MoSCoW is a clever acronym that stands for must have, should have, could have, won't have. It's a structured way to prioritize requirements so a project team focuses on what truly matters. Let's look into what we mean by must have. These are your non-negotiables. Without them, the project fails. Think of a banking application. Users must be able to log in securely. No login means no application. Very simple. It's a must-have functionality. The next one is talking about should have. These are important but not critical for Go Live. They add a significant value, but you can still launch without them. For example, fingerprint authentication. It is great for user experience, but if it is missing in version 1, customers can still use the application with the password. Hence, these are should have functionalities. Next, we talk about could have. These are nice to have. If time and resources allow, you add them. If not, they don't hurt the project. In a banking example, a dark mode interface or custom themes could be considered could haves. Won't have this time. This is what stakeholders often forget. Explicitly agreeing on what is not in scope. For our application, voice-based login may sound futuristic, but if the current release is about delivering core banking functions, this goes into the won't have bucket. Now, why does MoSCoW matter for us as project managers? First, it helps manage stakeholder expectations. Everyone sees clearly what will and won't be delivered. Second, it prevents scope creep because exclusions are documented upfront. Third, it guides resource allocation. Your team focuses on must first, then moves down to the list as capacity allows. And finally, it is a perfect fit for Agile and Scrum, where you need to prioritize features for sprints and MVPs. The next time you run a requirement workshop, bring sticky notes or a digital whiteboard. Ask stakeholders to list every requirement, categorize them together into must, should, could, and won't. You will be amazed at how quickly alignment happens and how many debates get settled once people see the categories in front of them. We have to remember that MoSCoW approach isn't about just prioritization, it's about building shared understanding, reducing conflict, ensuring the project delivers real value. Let's check up another example where you are a project manager for a new e-commerce application. The CEO wants it live before the holiday season. Marketing insists on flashy features. Tech leads warn about limited time. Stakeholders are pulling you in every direction. The big question is, what do you deliver first and what can wait? Imagine the first release of an e-commerce application. What are the absolute essentials? User must be able to browse products, add items to a cart, check out securely with payment options. Without these, you don't have an e-commerce application. You just have a catalog. These are your must-have requirements. When you move on to should have, these are important features that elevate customer experience, but your application can survive without them for launch. Think order tracking notifications or saving multiple addresses. Customers will love them, but even if they are missing in version 1, the application is still functional. We move on to could haves, the nice to have. If the team has bandwidth, you add them. If not, there's no harm. Example, a wishlist feature or product recommendation powered by AI. They make the application exciting, but they are not critical for going live before the holiday rush. Finally, the won't haves. These are the features stakeholders often dream about but you agree upon to park them for later. Example, a virtual reality try-on feature for clothes. It sounds futuristic, but if your goal is to capture sales in 3 months, it is clearly a won't have, at least for now. The beauty of MoSCoW approach is that it brings clarity. Instead of endless debates, stakeholders see the priorities laid out. Your development team knows exactly where to focus, and you as a project manager can confidently deliver a minimum viable product while keeping everyone aligned on what is in and what is out. Next time you're building a product, whether it is an e-commerce application, banking solution, or a marketing campaign, remember MoSCoW. Must, should, could, won't. It's more than a framework, it's a mindset that transforms chaos into clarity. And this is project management mastery in action. We have covered the key concepts related to MoSCoW approach. Hope the knowledge was valuable. We have come to the end of the episode. Thank you for tuning in.